Time now for our Sunrise Smart Start this morning. The state budget is set to be passed any time now. One major topic you might have heard a lot about, mobile sports betting. Governor Cuomo proposing legalizing that. Some lawmakers have legislation of their own. Eriquetta Koss joining us live in Rochester with more on these proposals. Good morning, Eriquetta.
Good morning, Leah. Well, as you mentioned, two different proposals coming from the governor and the legislature in Albany. So let's break it down. Governor Cuomo's proposal would run mobile sports betting the same way it runs the lottery, and revenue would go to the state. On the other hand, some lawmakers say casinos should be included to make a profit that would be paid for in state taxes. Here's Todd Harrison, Department Chair of Sports Management at St. John Fisher College, with what it could look like.
Just like you would use an application to, I don't know, Instagram or other like interfaces, you would have this interface and an account. And this is all conjecture at the moment. I don't know exactly what the structure would look like from a state perspective, but you would log on to your account that would have some amount of money into it, whatever you've deposited and then won or lost. And then you could, depending on games, whatever the games are, your particular sport of choice, you could bet on those games.
Harrison says the question now isn't if it will be legal, but how the state will go about it. For now, it's wait and see for what the budget has to say. Leah?
All right, certainly something we'll continue to follow. Eriquetta, thank you for that report this morning. The governor has said mobile sports betting could generate $500 million in revenue. Well, new job numbers set to be released this morning are expected to show a return to work as the Biden administration continues its push to vaccinate all Americans. Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer joining us with the latest from outside the Capitol with more on this. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Leah. Well, the president is already set to discuss this new report later at the White House this morning, and he's likely to credit the White House for their push in getting all Americans vaccinated for the key to the economy's success.
America is returning to the office. That's according to the latest jobs report from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, revealing a hiring surge as more businesses reopen.
We're going to bring everybody along.
President Joe Biden plans to add even more jobs as he promotes his new $2 trillion infrastructure plan.
It's a once-in-a-generation investment.
The White House credits the rollout of the COVID-19 relief package and the increase in vaccinations for the positive jobs report.
The vaccine is safe, and it will save lives.
Vice President Kamala Harris encouraged all Americans to get the vaccine as the White House introduces a new outreach campaign to create confidence in the shot, calling on local faith leaders, sports groups, and celebrities to help.
So when vaccination becomes available, get vaccinated.
White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci is encouraging Americans to continue coronavirus precautions, asking them to hold out just a bit longer.
And as always, the president says more can be done. He is still encouraging states to keep those mask mandates in place and asking some businesses to hold off on reopening. We expect to hear more from President Biden around the 11 a.m. hour. Reporting here in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much for that. Well, the president held the first meeting with his cabinet yesterday to talk about the administration's massive infrastructure plan. All right, time now is 6:48. The temperature, 24 degrees. It is cold out there, but thankfully, things are looking up a bit, right, Josh?
A lot of mild air heading our way for the weekend. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Let's get you ready to go here first on this Friday. And I want to let you know that you're in for some beautiful sunshine this morning. Look at the Port of Rochester, the sunrise in the making, just a thing of beauty. But looks are deceiving. It is cold. 27 in Greece right now. Good morning to you in Canandaigua. You're at 25. Good morning, Bristol. You're at 20. In the Finger Lakes, I've actually seen some leftover Finger Lake lake effect, basically coming down the long length of both Seneca and Cayuga Lakes. Feels like 16 right now in Rochester. You can see that leftover lake flakiness there on radar. Let's look at that holiday weekend. Mostly cloudy on Saturday. The Easter Bunny hopping into town on Sunday. And we've got some sunshine. Looks pretty good. temperatures into the 50s.
All right, thank you so much. As you head out the door, we're going to give you a live look at our sunrise traffic report at this hour. There is some construction along 390 at Lehigh Station Road. The shoulder is closed there, so be advised. Other than that, expressways moving along on time at this hour. Officials with the Lilac Festival detailing some changes for the event this year. The festival will be held on 3 consecutive weekends in May, starting the 7th with Art in the Park, live music, and a wine and beer expo. There will be a limited capacity for tents and safety measures, of course, in place, such as masking and social distancing. For a full list of events at this year's festival, head to rochesterfirst.com. Rochester City offices will be closed today for Good Friday. This includes Rochester City Hall, neighborhood service centers, R centers, and other administrative offices. Recycling collection will continue as scheduled. We're told this will not impact any COVID-19 testing and vaccination sites in the city. Excuse me, officials say the Rochester Police Department is attempting to locate a missing child and his mother. Take a look at the picture. Da Vinci Harrell is 4 months old and believed to be with his mother, Cassandra, who is also missing. They're both missing out of Rochester and may be in the area of Rome, New York. If you have any information, you're asked to please call 911. An Allegheny County man accused of sexually abusing children in crimes that date back decades. 75-year-old Frank Wright is charged with 5 counts of felony rape in incidents that allegedly happened in Avon between 1987 and 1988. Police say the victim was 12 years old. He's also charged with similar crimes with a 5-year-old several years in Springwater in the 90s. And another child in Avon in 1998. He is currently being held in the Livingston County Jail. Governor Cuomo announcing New York State Police will start wearing body cameras. The program started with legislation signed in June. The cameras will be worn by troopers while they're on patrol. Capital Region troopers will be the first to use them. Full rollout for all is expected by the summer and early fall. In national news this morning, an update on the deadly mass shooting in Orange, California that left 4 people dead, including a 9-year-old boy. Officials with the police department there say this attack was not a random act of violence. A spokesperson said the preliminary motive is believed to be related to a business and personal relationship which existed between the suspect and all the victims. Police say the 44-year-old suspect in the shooting is in the hospital in critical but stable condition. The investigation continues. Officials at Pfizer say the overall efficacy rate of its COVID vaccine is 91%, down from 95% originally reported in November. While this finding specifically refers to the Pfizer vaccine, Dr. Anthony Fauci says vaccines from other companies are still useful in reducing the spread of the virus, including emerging variations. Time now for a look at some news from around the state at this hour. New York has the 4th highest COVID-19 death rate in the nation. That's according to a new study by WalletHub. The report compares 50 states and District of Columbia across 5 key metrics, including the rates of COVID-19 transmission, positive testing, hospitalization, death rates, and % of the eligible population now vaccinated. Alaska was found to be the safest state during the COVID-19 pandemic. Georgia found to be the least safe state. 2 Western New York airports are slated to receive federal economic relief money. This part of a larger deal delivering a combined $3.6 million to 5 upstate New York airports. The Buffalo Niagara International Airport will receive $650,000, and the Chautauqua County Dunkirk Airport will receive $90,000. It is time now for the GRE Morning Business Report. Excuse me. Let me get that frog out of my throat first. An uptick in Americans seeking unemployment benefits. According to the Labor Department, 719,000 people filed jobless claims last week. That was more than expected and a step in the wrong direction, up 61,000 from the previous week. President Biden is taking aim at Amazon over its tax bill. While unveiling his infrastructure plan, the president said Amazon is one of dozens of Fortune 500 companies using loopholes to avoid paying federal taxes. Under the president's new plan, some loopholes would close and raise the corporate tax rate to 28%. Some good news this morning for those of you with student loan debt. The government says it's suspending the collection of more than 1 million federally backed loans that were previously excluded. The updated policy will halt collections on federal loans in default that are held by private companies. The relief will be retroactively applied to March 13th of 2020. If you have Sabra hummus in your refrigerator, listen up. The company is voluntarily recalling 2,100 10-ounce packages of its classic hummus due to a possible salmonella contamination. The packages contain a best before date of April 26th, 2021. No illnesses or consumer complaints have been reported. All right, here's what folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. According to a survey by Retail Me Not, Reese's peanut butter eggs are the most popular Easter candy. Jelly beans came in a close second, followed by Cadbury eggs and chocolate bunnies. At the bottom, the love them or leave them, you know, Peeps, right? Polarizing candy. The survey found 77% of people plan to spend up to $50 on Easter candy this year.
I'm team Cadbury eggs, so.
I am too. Those are the candies that I hide in the pantry and eat them. And I don't tell anyone, and then they're like, where did those Cadbury eggs go? I don't know.
It's a big
where
mystery.
They went. Where did they go? Peeps I love too, though.
Okay. It's polarizing.
When they're
so
stale. I know that sounds gross, but that's how I like them.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, you know, sugar is sugar, right? I mean, one way or the other, it's going to get you going. You might want a little something extra to get you going here, that extra cup of something. Temperatures today, well below average. The normal high is 50. We're into the upper 30s for today, but at least we'll have that sunshine. That'll be nice to see as you head out and about. Again, pretty much everyone hilltop to lakeshore dealing with the wintertime chill, but at least we have no snow to talk about for the most part. There have been a few lingering Finger Lake effect snowflakes here this morning on the south side of Cayuga and Seneca Lakes, but they are fading fast. Not fading. That beautiful sunrise in the making at the Port of Rochester. Just an absolutely gorgeous sky. We're going to hold on to that clear sky here throughout the morning there and into the afternoon. Just a few clouds and temperatures again well below average. Have a great holiday weekend.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for watching News 8 at Sunrise. Our next update in 30 minutes. CBS This Morning is coming up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are. On RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.